In this video I'm looking closely at a bike purchase which draws on my own early attraction to an iconic machine that's been with us since 1970. A classic engine format, a revolutionary design and a game changer. And more than that, for me, a personal coming home. Since I started riding in 1970, when the bug first caught me, it wasn't until 1981 and the trip of a lifetime that a return to biking was going to be. And my first multi-cylinder machine at that time was the Honda CB650Z. But it was only last year, when filming a classic Honda with a new friend Graham, that I realised there was a connection that went all the way back to 1970. I also recall visiting the London Motorcycle Show, then at Earl's Court, when the bike was first showcased in all its glory to the UK market. And I remember it being on a raised turntable, spinning around slowly under the gleaming lights. It was a marvellous sight. And so, 53 years later, and after many more recent adventures with British, Indian and Japanese parallel twins, an American V-twin and a triple, my passion for the original modern air-cooled inline four-cylinder Honda has been rekindled.
And it's going to get all secured up and on its way to you. Thanks again for the business, and thanks for using Kakodi Kawasaki.
So here it is, the CB1100, 10 years old and pretty immaculate condition. All the bright work is really good. The frame as well in totally good order. Yeah, this bike has been very well looked after. Because it's really hard to find any dink or any fault at all. And having ridden it down here on the first ride, I can only say what a revelation it is coming back to a four-cylinder inline engine. You cannot beat the smoothness of the throttle response. And even though it may lack top-end horsepower, which I need to check, I'm not sure what the figure is, it's so full of torque in any gear, based on the 2 or 3 miles that I've ridden it now. So here we are on a lovely early July day. I've brought the CB1100 over to leafy Chobham in Surrey, where my good friend Ken Gillette lives, about 1.5 miles up the road from here. Just a pause to kind of semi-introduce Ken, who really has been a good friend for many years and is also my motorcycle guru in many ways. But I'll introduce Ken more fully later. suffice to say he's an ex-Honda man, now retired, but certainly knows motorbikes far, far better than I do. And it'll be very interesting to chat informally with Ken about the CB1100 and its place in the Honda range. So I'll be on my way and should be there in a couple of minutes. Ken. Hello.
Hi, John.
How are you? Sorry to disturb your Thursday.
No, it's all right. We were just talking garden and goodness knows what else.
Oh, it's a good day for that at least.
I'm going to go.
Either looked after or very well. Yeah, or very well
How many miles it got?
valeted. Just over 5,000 now.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that one of the reasons for that.
Tyres don't even.
Eh? One of the reasons
Tyres don't even want at all.
One of the reasons for the low mileage, though, for sure, is I looked at the logbook. I know. Yeah. I looked at the logbook and it spent probably the first 2 years of its life in Aberdeen. 2 or 3 years in Aberdeen. Can you imagine what the weather's like up there and how, infrequently an owner's going to go out on the bike?
As tall as it's probably not that dissimilar to the Cross Tourer, but it's lower.
Yeah.
In the Cross Tourer, you're sort of trying to do it up there.
Yeah.
It's something more difficult.
Yeah, I'm already toying with the idea of whether there are risers that won't need the cables to be changed, whether there is just some bar risers here or...
You could probably get something. Do you need bar risers?
Do I need them? I'm ever so
upright.
slightly tilted forward when I'm riding,
Yeah.
ever so slightly,
Let's see that.
but in a way,
This is upright.
yeah,
Maybe at 2 inches maximum.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if you get something that you're completely upright and no screen,
yeah,
40 miles an hour, you're having to hang on.
yeah,
So everything's a compromise.
Yeah.
It'd be great when you're stationary,
yeah,
doing 40 miles an hour, because I found that with the Valkyrie,
yeah,
because the bars are up there and you're definitely sort of
yeah.
holding back. You never realise how much of a slope this driver's on to try and sit on a motorbike. One thing I wanted to see was it's not ride-by-wire.
No. Well, it's now what, 10 years old? Is that pre-ride-by-wire?
Well, the first ride-by-wire by the Honda did was VFR 1200, which was 2010.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this is a bit before that.
Okay.
Bloody nice.
Yeah.
But you know what? I wouldn't fuss about too much of it.
No.
The tank, it's a slightly different shape to the original 750.
Well, quite.
It's a tank.
Quite.
It's a traditional seat
Yeah.
that are so similar to those.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That, it's a slightly different shape. Again, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Colour would be the thing.
Yeah.
Now, although they did do a red one, it was a brighter red than this, and the stripe is wrong.
Yes.
And of course, you wouldn't have that there. You'd have.
The letters. The candy orange one.
Can't remember
Graham's
now.
candy
It
orange
said
one.
Honda, did it?
Just Honda caps.
Honda.
Yeah. In caps.
Because at times they had the
Those
wing,
letters.
but no, I don't think the 750. The 750 just
that lettering style.
Rockwell.
That font. It's Rockwell, yeah.
You're right. The 750s just had Honda.
Yeah.
And so I would not change the tank. In fact, I was going to say I wouldn't even change the colour. It's close enough. but that is wrong.
Yeah.
The stripe was bigger and broader and I think higher. I can't remember now.
Sure.
Looking at the photos, you can
Sure.
see.
Yeah.
But I
And the
would
tank
probably do something like
ended
that.
all the way
It did.
straight all the
Yeah,
way along.
it did.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be too concerned about that.
No.
So I'd probably, and I really like the gold ones.
Yeah.
So to be honest, what I'd probably do would be something like this. Paint it gold, mimic the stripe of the early 750s. Gold. Most importantly, the 4 pipes.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Everything else is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
The better brakes,
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
It had a bigger mudguard with stays on it and so on.
Yeah.
So actually, it would only really be buying the exhaust.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
you could make a very neat replica,
Right.
actually just with the exhaust.
Yeah.
Mind you, that's not going to be peanuts, but
Well, that's
that
the
would
issue, isn't
really
it?
change the look.
Yeah.
And I do love the idea of that.
Yeah. Well,
And this is an obvious one to do it on,
Yeah.
actually, because it is still air cooled.
yeah.
Have a good ride back.
Thank you. Can a Superbike be recreated? So in reality, the CB1100, while being every inch a tremendous tribute to the CB750, it could never truly reach the heights of probably the most famous motorcycle of the time, and which went on to sell over 550,000 models worldwide from 1969 to 78. The CB1100 did a lot of things very well though, by bringing aspects and features of the current motorcycling era to what was lacking in the original model CB750, but its ability to match the aura created by its illustrious forebear was perhaps asking too much of both the concept and the more sophisticated motorcycle market which we now have.